Hey y'all, Justin with Kayak Catfish. In today's video, I'm going to go over some answers to the most common questions I get asked on this channel, and also kind of clarify and educate you on a law that apparently a lot of you seem to think I'm breaking from the comments that I get. Now, for those of you who've watched my channel for a long time, this is going to be old news to you. You've seen it, heard it, know it. But in the last 6 to 8 months or so, there has been just an explosion of growth on this channel. There's a lot of new people on here. And with that has come a large volume increase of just comments and messages and emails, etc. So it is quicker and easier for me to come on here, spend a few minutes and answer all of these questions for everybody one time versus me having to just manually type out a response to each individual person. So the questions that I'm going to answer, first off, let's get right to it on the bait selection that I use, or better yet, the legality of the bait selection that I use. I get questions all the time. Every time I post a video where I use largemouth bass or white bass or crappie for bait, anything that's deemed a sport fish, people just let me have it in the comments, man. I get some people that are good. They're genuinely inquisitive about it. They just ask the question, is it legal to do that there? But then there are others who just jump right in, man. They're just waiting to pounce. They want to call me names. They want to make threats to me about calling a game warden and getting me in trouble, getting me arrested, etc., yada, yada, yada. Listen, guys, I know this is going to bust your all's bubble, but you can't argue with facts and written laws. And so what I'm going to do is actually show you and read you our Tennessee state regulations as far as concerning using game fish for bait. The regulation reads, a licensed sport angler with all required licenses and permits can harvest game fish, including rainbow trout and sunfish, for use as bait from the wild using legal sport fishing methods. When harvesting game fish, all restrictions in the Sport Fishing Proclamation apply, including creel and length limits, seasons, and license requirements for both the waters from which the fish are harvested for bait and for the waters where they will be used as bait. Now, what does that mean in layman's terms? Well, basically what that says is that if I catch a sport fish such as largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, white bass, crappie, etc. on rod and reel, and it meets the minimum size requirements for both the body of water from which I caught it from and the body of water from which I intend to use it, then I can legally use that sport fish for bait. That is not me making that up. That is directly from the Tennessee regulations, our fishing regulations guidebook that we get with our fishing license. Now, if you're not from my state, you can research this online. It is available to you. You can go to tn.gov, that is the Tennessee State Government website, click on the departments and go down to Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and it is right there for you to view with your own eyes if you don't believe me. But now I know there are some of you out there that facts and written laws ain't good enough for. That ain't going to push you off your opinion. And for you people, well, I can't help you. Just keep on making your ignorant comments and calling TWRA game wardens on me. You just look stupid, and I'm fine with that. Now, there are another group of you out there that seem to think that one state's laws apparently apply all over the country, and that is not the case. The laws that I just read you here, that particular regulation, only applies within the borders of Tennessee. Each individual state has its own set of laws and regulations, and it is your responsibility to know those. My role here as a content creator on YouTube, guys, you don't want to hear this, but it is not my responsibility to educate you. And the fact is, you don't want me educating you because I don't know your state's laws. California, Wisconsin, Montana, New York, I don't know a thing about it. But I'll tell you this, if I did go to one of those states to fish, the first thing I would do would be get a copy of their regulations and read them so that I could comply with the laws while I was there. Now, along this topic of bait, there's another group of you that I just might as well go ahead and address on here, and that is the group of people who, you know it's legal what I'm doing, but you still got a problem with it. You have just kind of created this set of values for yourself, if you will, that certain fish just shouldn't be used for bait. Tournament bass fishermen, for instance, bass should only be caught and released in tournaments. Then there's the crappie fishermen. Well, crappie, you can kill them to eat, that's okay, but they're only for human consumption. You cannot kill them and use them for catfish bait. You know, you people, you know, this is going to sting a little bit when I say this, so brace yourself. but I do not care about your personal opinions. Not one bit, not one iota. So sorry, not sorry. If it bothers you, hit the thumbs down button, unsubscribe, and get the hell on, because if it bothers you, if you're personally offended by my bait selection, and you keep watching, it's on you. It's gonna just keep hurting your feelings every time you tune in, because I'm gonna keep doing it. As long as it is legal here in the state of Tennessee, I'm gonna continue to use these fish. The next topic I get asked about frequently is about weighing fish. People wanna know why I don't weigh fish, or why I measure them in length instead of getting a weight on them. And the truth is that it's a simple answer, and that I just don't care about the weights. It has never been important to me at all. When I go out fishing, I'm just out there to have a good time. I want to get a tug on the line and experience the fish. You know, I'm obviously out there to catch as big a fish as possible, but the weight of that fish, it doesn't add to or take away the fun and excitement I get of reeling that fish in. So it's just never been something that's important to me. And as far as the weight goes, even if it was something that was important to me and something that I did, there is no way in hell I would share that weight on this video or any other social media post. It is just a cesspool. I get enough drama as it is for my bait selection. I for dang sure ain't going to invite more drama in with the weights. If you don't believe me what drama the weight is, get on Facebook, go to a catfishing group and look for somebody who has posted a picture with the weight on there. You get down in the comments, it is a damn cesspool down there. You get people saying, you know, they're calling them a liar. They saying they need a new scale, or their scales broke. Or then you get those people down there, they just seize the opportunity to post a picture of themselves holding a big fish. And they'll say, that fish ain't 50 pounds. My fish here is 40 pounds. Look how much bigger it is. It just turns into one big old internet penis measuring contest. And I just ain't got time for that crap. I don't have no interest in it. I got better things to do. So even if I was interested in the weight of fish, there's no way in hell I would ever post it on here or anywhere else. Now, as far as measuring fish goes, truthfully speaking, I don't give a crap how long a fish is either. That doesn't matter to me. I carry a measuring board with me in a kayak because of some tournaments that I'm in. I'm in a little group, Trophy Catfish Kayak Anglers, and we have kayak catfishing tournaments. And those tournaments are scored by total length of our fish. We have some one-day events, some weekend events, and some month-long events. So because I have that board with me and because I'm measuring fish for that tournament, I oftentimes show that on the videos. And even fish that I'm not necessarily scoring for the tournament, if it's a decent sized fish, because so many of you have asked me to go ahead and get the links on those fish, I'll go ahead and put it on the board. I mean, it's right there in front of me. It's quick, it's convenient, it's not a big deal. So I'll go ahead and do that. But from a personal standpoint, if I wasn't in these tournaments, I wouldn't be measuring fish, because I don't give a crap about that either. Now, you would think, I think most common sense, logic people out there, most rational people would think, well, weighing fish, what's the big deal? Who cares? I'm gonna tell you guys, there are some people out there who get serious about weighing fish. I actually got a message a couple nights ago from a man named Doug. I'll leave his last name out of it, I'll be nice. But this guy apparently watched a video, and I don't know if I made a comment in the video or if maybe I had said something down in the comment box below, but he got really upset about it. So much, in fact, that he clicked off of YouTube, got on Facebook, did a search for me on there. I know, that's not creepy at all, right? But he got on Facebook, searched for me, and sent me a private message on there voicing his displeasure with me. Doug says, you need to pipe the attitude. A lot of your comments are rude and shows your true colors. The comment you made that weighing fish is stupid and it should be done the kayak way was rude and childish. Get a grip. So from Doug's message and several others I have gotten just like it, it has come to my attention that there are a lot of you out there who take weighing fish way more seriously than I ever could or will. So I kind of feel the need on this video to just emphasize, you know, my opinion on this is just my opinion. You know, I'm a regular person like each and every one of you. We all got an opinion, and none of them is more important than the other. So if you want to weigh fish, go for it. What the hell do I care? It don't affect me at all. I don't care what you do. Weigh them. If you feel the need to do that, you know, figure out your personal best and compare each fish you catch to the previous one before, it don't matter. Man, do it. If it makes you happy, we only get so many turns around the sun on this earth, guys. Do what you want to do what makes you happy, and if weighing fish is something that's important to you, do it. But I'm going to tell you, if you're somebody like Doug and you get personally offended or angered at the fact that I don't weigh fish, you might as well find a new channel, because me and you, we ain't on the same wavelength. So you can get with the tournament bass fishermen and the crappie fishermen, hit the thumbs down button, unsubscribe, and get the hell out, because you're just going to be offended every time you turn on my channel and I ain't weighing fish. Another question that comes up frequently is about eating fish. People want to know, do I ever keep any fish? Do I ever eat them? Will I ever do a catch and cook video? The answer to that question is no, I don't. I don't ever keep any to eat. I never will keep any to eat. Our water here where I fish is contaminated. There's basically 3 bodies of water here that I spend the bulk of my time on. That's Fort Loudon Reservoir, Watts Bar Reservoir, and Melton Hill Reservoir. All 3 of those bodies of water are contaminated. There are advisory signs up at all the public launch sites and boat ramps just warning people not to eat the fish. There's usually classifications on those advisory signs. Some of them will have certain fish listed, and they'll say not to eat fish if you're a child or a pregnant woman, and everyone else should limit their meals to 1 meal per month of those fish. Then there are other fish, which usually catfish fall into this category, that you just shouldn't eat any of them out of that body of water. And that's just due to the mercury and PCBs that are in those bodies of water. Now, the follow-up question people have is, well, where did the contamination come from? And the answer to that is it's mostly industrial type companies that were dumping stuff in the river back in the day that they shouldn't have been. We also have the Oak Ridge National Lab, which is, for you history buffs, that's the home of the atomic bomb. That was the Manhattan Project back in the day. There's speculation that radioactive material was kind of leached out into the water system. The big thing, though, one of the big things that happened was the coal ash spill back in 2008. That happened at the Kingston Steam Plant. Some of you may remember it from the news. It was a huge ordeal. It was the biggest industrial spill in the history of the United States. Supposedly it was 10 times bigger than the oil spill from the Deepwater Horizon spill. So it was a big deal, man. Apparently what happened was, and I'm no expert on this, I can just kind of regurgitate what I have read and heard. But basically, there is a holding area for this coal ash, which is basically just a toxic sludge. The dike holding that gave way, and apparently it was a big dike. It was like 50 some odd feet tall, but it broke loose, and over 1 billion gallons of that toxic sludge just kind of created a mudslide, if you can envision. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, there are videos of it showing the damage. I mean, it was awful. People lost their homes. I mean, it just wiped out everything down through there. But that toxic sludge eventually made its way down to the Emory River. And just geographically, for those of you not familiar with this area, that is at the lower end of the Emory River, right above where it dumps into the Clinch River. And about 2 miles downstream from where the conjoined Emory and Clinch Rivers meet, it dumps into the Tennessee River. So all of that toxic sludge that went into the Emory River, then made to the Clinch River, then into the Tennessee, and just created a huge mess. And it was truly a disaster, not only from an ecological perspective, but also from a human perspective too. I mean, people lost their homes because of this. And now, you know, you read about it now, there's a huge lawsuit going on between some of the workers there that cleaned up the spill, because a lot of them now have developed various types of cancers and chronic conditions from being exposed to those toxic materials while they were cleaning it up. So huge, huge disaster. So, you know, as far as eating fish out of there, guys, I'm not going to do it. I mean, TVA, they've spent over $1 billion on the cleanup project, and a few years of their time. They say that it is clean. They say it's safe for us to be in the water, swimming and boating. They've done numerous independent studies on the drinking water there. Everything has come back that it is safe. But, you know, those toxic materials like that, they're going to sink down to the river bottom. And when you've got fish like catfish that I'm often targeting, those fish spend a lot of time on or near the bottom, near those materials, and you know, it just ain't for me, man. There, like I said, there's advisory signs up at all the boat launches, and I feel like if the contamination levels are bad enough for the government to put up these signs, I'm going to heed those warnings. Your choice, your body, if you choose to eat the fish, but I ain't going to. Next topic is about gear. I get asked all the time, what rods do I use, what reels, what kayak I'm in. Well, I do a walkthrough video of my kayaks. Guys, all that information is available to you. Every single video, I have a list of the gear used down in the video description. Just click on that, you'll be able to see everything. In addition to that, I have numerous videos on my channel. I have videos on my Catfish gear, on my ultralight gear. I have walkthrough videos of my old kayak, the Hobie Outback, my new kayak, the Hobie Pro Angler. I have video on my electric motor for my kayak. I have videos for my camera gear and how I have it set up to film in the kayak. All of that stuff is available on there. You can use the search box and find those videos, or you can click on the playlist section of my channel, and I have a playlist that is kayak, tackle, and accessories. All those videos are on there for you to see. And lastly, a question that comes up all the time is people want to know, will I take them on a fishing trip? I've had numerous requests, people asking me to take them out. I've had several of you offer to pay me money to take you out fishing. And you know, every time I get asked, I am truly flattered. I really am. I mean, it's humbling to know that people out there think highly enough of me that you would want to come and spend a day fishing with me, especially those of you who've offered me money. The fact that you'd be willing to spend your hard-earned money because you have enough belief and confidence in me that I could put you on some fish and make it worthwhile for you, it's really flattering. It truly is. It's flattering. But, you know, at the end of the day, fishing is just kind of my me time. It's my form of escapism, I guess, if you will, to just kind of get out and do my thing. You know, I know for a lot of people, fishing's kind of a social experience, right? I mean, you go out with your friends and your family and you get out there and you socialize and laugh and have a good time. And for me, it's kind of just the exact opposite. And, you know, I know when I do these YouTube videos, I'm talking into the camera, I'm putting out videos that could potentially reach tens of thousands of people. It would appear that I am a very outgoing and extroverted person, but in reality, I'm the exact opposite. I am very introverted in real life. I keep to myself. I'm not really a social type person. So, you know, me going out with strangers and spending a day with them out there, it's just kind of socially awkward for me from that standpoint, if that makes sense. The thought of being out there with somebody that maybe I don't jive with and being stuck with them a day on the water, it ain't something I'm interested in, unfortunately. And, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, I looked into it. I've had so many requests and so much interest in it with the whole guide thing, especially. I did the due diligence on it, man. I looked into what I would need to get as far as licensure goes. I talked with an insurance agent about what I would need to get insurance coverage for it. I've talked with some companies about getting me set up with extra kayaks and extra gear to be able to take people out. But when I really got down to it, when it was time to go forward with it, I just didn't want to do it, man. Fishing it's my me time. It's my time to get out and just do my thing. And, you know, when the day comes that this YouTube channel runs its course and declines and dies off, it'll be the end of me on YouTube. I'm not going to be one of these YouTubers that hangs on and keeps putting out videos long after it's time for me to hang it up. I won't be on social media anymore. I'll just be out doing my thing. And so I hope some of you all understand that. You know, I hate telling people no. And when I get people that, like I said, it's flattering to me, it's humbling that people want to come fishing with me, and I hate telling them no, but it's just something that I'm just not comfortable with. So I hope you all understand that. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up this video here. I hope this answered the questions. I know some of you are probably watching this video after the fact, and I don't want to come across as rude or impersonable, but as this channel grows, time constraints is a big problem. I mean, as the volume of messages and comments come in, it's getting harder and harder for me to keep up. And so it's a lot easier for me to come out here today, spend a few minutes and answer all of these questions at once in a video form than it is for me to just type out individual responses to each question as they come in. So I hope you all understand. I hope you got some clarification on the laws and other reasoning behind my thoughts and beliefs on what I do. But anyway, guys, if I've left out anything, if you've got any other questions or comments, or if you're just one of these haters and trolls and you want to blast me one last time in the comments before I block you, go ahead and do it. I'll see you in the next video. We'll get back to fishing in the next one, I promise. I'll see you then.